Sometimes people stand in the way of victory.
Am I up? Okay. You ready for me? Hey, how's everybody? It's good to see you. It's good to be here. Hey, how you doing? All right. What y'all want to talk about tonight? What you want to talk about? Huh? Whatever you want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Is that all right? How was your day today? Everybody have a good day? Yeah. Anybody make you mad? Tell me how you handled it. Did you? I mean, no, it's just us in the room. It's just us. Ain't nobody else listening. It's just, did you hurt them bad? You got to watch the first ones to say no. They say no real quick. That means they hurt somebody. Man. Who? Yes, I believe that. I believe it in my heart. Flip the tables over like Jesus? Oh, okay. I thought maybe. You got to watch them quiet ones. So let's look around the room and see who's quiet. That's the one you got to watch right there. There you go. That's the one. Oh, but it's good to see you all. It really is. It is. And let me take this opportunity to thank those of you who are watching us virtually. Thank you for logging in. I certainly appreciate you so very much. I was having a conversation with my mother, and she wanted me to know tonight that she's going to be watching. And so she's probably watching right now in this moment. And so I'm going to ask if Reverend Jefferson would turn off the live stream, like cut it off right now, because as long as she's watching, I have to behave. But if she's not watching, I'm cutting up. Yes, you're right. You're right. But is there any way that you can take her off, Reverend Jefferson? Well, let's jump right into it. I just wanted to just warm you up a little bit. Just warm us up a little bit as we get ready to continue our conversation. And can I thank you for well, you were here, and I was away last week. We were on our way. Matter of fact, we were there last week. This time, we went to the Virgin Islands Annual Conference. And I really thank you that you allowed me to go and put my feet in the sand and look at that aqua blue water. How the water is two different colors, like all in one shot. You can just look out, and it's just like green, kind of aqua, and then a blue, and that is just so. Y'all shaking your head. Y'all know what I'm talking about, huh? I ain't ever seen nothing like that before in my life. Y'all shaking your head like you've been there before. Y'all been there. See how bad y'all treat me. You've been there. but I didn't get an opportunity to enjoy it because Reverend Adams, I have to work when I go to these places, and and I guess that's one of the reasons why my kids they were there to have such a wonderful time while Dad is working, But I just, thank you. You all were here. How many of you had to work today? Did you have to work? Had to work? Okay. Had to work. How was work? Was it good? Was it good? Y'all got real quiet on that. This work good stuff. Was it okay? It was decent. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Long? Productive, but long. But you know what? As long as it's productive. Long as it's productive. Yeah. Productive, then that's a good thing. It really is. Wow. Anybody else on this side go to work today? No? This is the working side? Oh, okay, we do. Okay, I thought this was the working side. But this got some folk that work on this side as well. All right. Hebrews is where we're going to be. Hebrews chapter 12. Verse, don't do that. I understand. Just one of them days. Hey, Ryan, what's up? That's what I'm talking about. All right. I guess I'm supposed to be doing Bible study. I'm just talking to everybody, and we're having a great conversation in the room and said, I'm waiting for Bible study. It's coming. Here it comes. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 14 through, verse 14 and 15. Again, the focal point or the key text or verse is of course 15, but it's B, 15b. There's always an A and a B. It's 15b. And so if you just give me a few moments, I'm going to read both 14 and 15, and then I'm going to come back and read again 15b. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost we pray, and the people of God together said, amen. Amen. I'm reading, I believe this is from the New Living Translation. New Living Translation, it reads, work at living in peace with some people. With everyone. Okay, with everyone. And work at living a ratchet life. A holy life. For those who are not holy will see God. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all, thank you for helping me. Will not see the Lord. Verse 15 reads, look after each other so that none of you fails to do what? Receive the grace of God. Here's the B. This is the B right here. This is the B. 15b says, watch out. That no what? Poisonous root of what? The root of bitterness does what? Grows to trouble you. Because if it troubles you, it's going to end up doing what? Corrupting many. I have in parentheses corrupting other people. Corrupting other people. Let me just backtrack for a second, because some of you may want to jot some of this information down. Okay. When I was in school, we read a book entitled Great Expectations. I don't know if anybody has heard of Great Expectations. Bitterness reminds me of, I believe her name was Miss Havisham, and she was a central character of this Charles Dickens book. And she was a wealthy, eccentric spinster who stopped all the clocks at 8:40 a.m. after she was jilted. She was rejected on her wedding day. Man, that's a terrible thing. To be ready, you got your dress on and you ready, and guess what happens? No show. He decided that he was going to the beach anyway. So she lives in this decaying grandeur at Sadie's house, wearing her tattered wedding dress. And here it is. This is the part that is so important and relevant to us tonight. And you know what she does? She's raising her adopted daughter. Name is Estella. And she's raising her to be cold and manipulative, seeking revenge on men because of her broken heart. She was left at the altar. And so now, because her heart is broken, she's raising her adopted daughter to take revenge out on men because her heart is broken. I just read to you the B part of the text from the New Living Translation that says, watch out that no poisonous root of bitterness grows up to trouble you. And then, comma, corrupting many of the people, which suggests that if one has been corrupted by the root of bitterness, if we don't work that thing out, we're going to end up corrupting other people, causing other people to become bitter. Can I ask you a question? Is there anybody in here that's bitter tonight? Anybody bitter? Everybody good? Nobody's bitter? Nobody's bitter? Nobody. Yes, I appreciate honesty. I got some yes on this side, and I got some no's, and I got some I really don't know which way it is. But here it is. If you would, Miss Taylor, or there it is. Thank you. Look at the screen, if you will. I want you to look at that screen. What do you see? What do you see there? Yeah, half rotten. You know, we kind of use that as it being bitter. So if you look at that, what typically happens, or what gets it to that place, is it starts out with something rather small. A little piece of green stuff that might be on it, and it grows to become what you see there. If you don't cut off what's there now, what will eventually happen to that? It'll take over everything. So we're suggesting tonight that if we're not careful, bitterness can take root in us and cause us to not only infect ourselves, but infect other people around us. Does that make sense? And I think I said last week, and I won't use this. Matter of fact, let me just jump right into the water if I can. The reality is the progression to becoming bitter happens in a similar way as it relates to what we just saw a few moments ago. Slowly, right? That fruit didn't become that all at one, it just happened all at one time. It was a little bit that slowly grew and became what you see. So the reality is it's slow, but following an escalating pattern until a difference is clearly recognized later. Doesn't start that way. The other thing I was going to say is, maybe I should ask you this question, because you all are great. You really are. And I just love you so dearly because you're just so great. Here it is. You saw something that has the appearance of being rotten and or bitter because you looked at it and you saw it. Is there a possibility that something can be rotten and or bitter and you can't tell by looking at it? Yes. Yeah, I know this. I like fruit that has a little bitter taste to it, but it's sweet too. My wife does not like anything unless it's all sweet. She thinks that when it's got a little of that in it, that it's not even worth buying, throw it away. So for some people, you can look at some people and you can tell that they're bitter. Is that true? There's some people you can look at and you can tell, but there are other people you can look at and you have no idea that they're bitter. Because let me just can somebody be bitter and not know it? Yes. A person can absolutely be bitter without even realizing it. Bitterness is often a slow, subconscious accumulation, and I'm going to talk about it over here, of unresolved anger or disappointment. Yeah. Resentment rather than a sudden emotion. It acts as a defensive habitual mindset that feels normal to the person, often manifesting as cynicism, victim mentality, or frequent complaints rather than overt anger. Ooh, I just said something. Ooh, I just said something. Can I keep on working with this? The expression describes how emotional bitterness, somebody write that down. Emotional bitterness develops sneakily and gradually over time rather than all at once, starting with small, frequent irritations that escalate into a deeply ingrained, noticeable and permanent state of anger or negativity. It is a process of accumulating unresolved, look at somebody, say unresolved anger or disappointment. The process is most commonly described in psychology as resentment or repressed pent-up anger. I just said something. It refers to the accumulation of strong negative emotions, I'm going to keep going to it, like bitterness, disappointment, and rage that are, here it is, watch me closely, that's pushed down. It's pushed down, ignored, or left unaddressed over a long period of time. Did y'all hear what I just said? I mean, that's kind of dealing with one that may not know that they're dealing with bitterness because it's been pushed down. It's repressed. It's pent up anger that's been ignored or it's been left unaddressed. Being bitter is to harbor. I dare you to look at somebody, tell them harbor. Just tell them harbor. Harbor just means have it in your mind over a long period of time, deep-seated resentment, anger, I'm going to say this over and over again, contentment, dislike, usually resulting, I'm going to keep saying this over and over, from past disappointments, injustices, or perceived unfair treatment. It's a long-lasting, I love this, often toxic. Can you look at somebody and just say the word toxic? Just say toxic. Matter of fact, look at me and say it as loud as you can. One on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Toxic. It's toxic. It's toxic. It's toxic. It is. It's an emotional state characterized by an inability to forgive. A victim mentality. Anybody know what a victim mentality? A victim mentality and a negative, pessimistic outlook on life. There's some people that's just because of something that happened to them, that's just who they are. That's how they live. They live in that space. They can't live outside of that space. I was sharing with someone, and I may have even shared it with you, the challenge of one who's the president of this nation, and I mean this when I say it in a way because we're in Bible study, so we seek to help people that are anyway. So some people can't function outside of chaos. They can't. They have to live in chaos. Has to be something crazy going on all of the time. They can't live in peace. It has to be chaotic. One day it has to be this. The next day it has to be something else. They can't live outside of that space. That's not only a dangerous place to be, but that's a sad place to be. Sad to live like that. But Some people live like that, toxic. Can't live outside that. Listen, when a person becomes bitter, the most obvious effect is on their mood. Mood. M-O-O-D. Specifically, the bitter person's emotional baseline, or what's called baseline mood. Somebody may want to write it down. Baseline mood. Your baseline mood is, can I tell you what it is? Baseline mood is an individual's habitual default emotional state. It's a baseline mood is an individual's habitual default emotional state. An individual's habitual default emotional state. An individual's habitual default emotional state. How they feel most of the time when they're not influenced by extreme highs and lows. Yeah, and individual's habitual default emotional state. How they feel most of the time when not influenced by extreme highs and lows. Their baseline mood. It's their baseline mood. It's right here. Look at me. It's right here. It's their baseline mood. No highs and lows. Here's my baseline mood. It's when their baseline mood is anger, disappointment, or irritation. That when you start dealing with bitterness, their baseline, that's their baseline mood. Their baseline mood. The feelings are difficult to let go of and often don't seem to have a clear trigger. It's a state of, psychologists would tell you, of chronic emotional or psychological distress. Here it goes. I'm going back to it again. Such as what? Look at somebody say bitterness, resentment, or anxiety, which persist without any obvious or immediate causes. Did y'all just hear what I said? Let me say that one more time. Can I say that one more time? Here it is. He's getting ready to put it on the screen. Take a picture of it. Here it comes. It's a state of, okay, it's not really going on the screen. My bad. It's a state of chronic emotional or psychological distress. Like what? We said what? Bitterness, resentment, or anxiety, which persists without obvious or immediate causes. Yeah, that's what bitterness is. But can I? Let's keep on going. Look at verse number 14. Can we put verse number 14 in the King James version on the screen? I'm so sorry. Can we put it on the screen? King James version. Can we do that? I'm gonna read it. It says, it reads just like this. Okay, there it is. It says, what does it say? Follow anger. Follow anger. Okay, follow peace with all what? And what? Okay, keep going without. Oh. So you will not be able to see the Lord if what? If you don't what? Follow peace with everybody and holiness. Okay, so in the Greek text, you know what that word, what it means? Verse 14 in the Greek text means to accompany, follow as a disciple, or go behind. It implies joining someone as an attendant or adhering to their teachings. So Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14 in the Greek text commands an active, diligent pursuit of peace, harmony, holiness, consecration, sanctification as essential requirements for seeing who God is. And you know what it implies? It implies what's called a horizontal community, harmony, and a vertical upright purity, warning that without this sanctified life, fellowship with God is impossible. I just said something that should have made you fall out of your seats. Can I say it one more time? Listen, it emphasizes, listen to this, a horizontal community, parallel community of harmony and vertical upright purity, warning that without this sanctified life that he's talking about in verse number 14, without the sanctified life, fellowship with God is impossible. You can't have fellowship with God without having fellowship with each other. Well, I ain't got to be bothered with you. As long as I love the Lord, I'm going to heaven. Wrong. This thing is about building relationship with each other. Let me keep on going. It exhorts, it encourages believers. Any believers in the house? Any believers in the house? I dare you to look at somebody, tell them, I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus. Tell them, I believe in Jesus. I do. It exhorts, it encourages believers to actively pursue peace. Actively pursue peace with everybody and holiness toward God, essentially for seeing the Lord while carefully ensuring that no one falls short of grace and allowing a root of bitterness to defile you. I just said something. Oh, I just said it. When I say things sometimes, I feel it in my bones, and I just, the Greek text emphasizes intense language that commands energetic, ongoing effort to maintain communal harmony and spiritual purity. Man, you got to be right. Look at somebody, say, got to be right, got to be right. Listen, the root of bitterness, you got to write it down if you don't have it. The root of bitterness, 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 root of bitterness. Root of bitterness in Hebrews chapter 12, verse number 15, refers to a poisonous inner attitude. Means your attitude is funky and foul. Anybody ever seen anyone, or have you ever experienced being, just even saying this, because I don't like them. Anybody ever been bitten by a snake? Anybody in here? Anybody in here? Was it a poisonous snake? No poisonous snake. Anybody ever been bitten by a copperhead or a water moccasin? I see. You have? Which one? Wow. Are water? Are water moccasins poisonous? Poisonous. So were you in the yard or doing something? Were you trying to kill it and it bit you? Oh, you were small. You don't remember. Yeah, but something had to be done when you were bitten by that snake. Did you have to go to the doctor, and the doctor had to probably give you some what do they call that? Anti-venom serum or something. So if not, what would happen to someone if you're bitten by something that's venomous and you don't do anything about it? I like that. But I like that because that's the end result of that. It spreads through your body and it starts to shut down your organs, and it will eventually take your life. Let's look at poison that may not be a bite that comes from a snake, but a poisonous attitude that a person has that infects other people. Have you ever had this happen before? It probably never happened to you before. Have you ever had somebody that you know who was mad at somebody else, and it was between them, but they wanted you to be mad at that person too. Yeah, they wanted, right, they wanted you on their side because of what that was their mess, but they tried to bring you into it by sharing conversation with you so that you would be upset just like them. That venom, that poison that they have, they spewed that into the life of somebody else, and if you're not careful, you too will take on the same characteristics of that person. Okay, let me ask this question. I asked, has anybody ever tried to do that to you before? Don't even raise your hand. Don't tell it. Has that ever worked? Has anybody ever had somebody that said something to you regarding somebody else and it made you treat that person funny based on what they said? No, not never, not one time ever in your life. Like not ever when you were 16 and 15 and 14 and 13 and 12 in school and having never. That nobody never came up to you. Nobody ever came up to you and said they got the cooties, and you wouldn't let them touch you. I'm just asking. Anybody at least one time we've been influenced by what somebody else has said. Or and I was going to say, or we've been the influencer. We've been the one that walked up to somebody and said, girl, let me tell you something. He trifling. Because this is what he did to me. Yeah, you're right, he trifling. Now the whole sister circle is mad at him. Think he trifling. And the truth of the matter is, watch this, it may not even be true. Yeah. And so what happens is we walk around angry and mad and upset because somebody has poured something into us that has caused us. They poured into us. And so now we're angry and we are upset because of something somebody else said. Look at somebody say bitterness, bitter root. That's where when it talks about root of bitterness, what does a root do? What does a root do? I like that. Growth. I heard grows, but it spreads out. It spreads out. And can I tell you what it does? Oftentimes, you have no control. Anybody ever planted something in a place and the root from that tree affected your driveway, your walkway, your pathway, your bricks? That thing started coming up because roots just go wherever. Watch this. Roots go to the place that is considered the most least resistant. I just said something. I said, typically people who are bitter typically find people who are weak in mind and oftentimes in spirit because they know they're easy to infect. Okay, I'm the only one clapping, my bad. Are we together? We still together? I gotta move. So the root of bitterness in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15, it refers to, we said, a poisonous inner attitude. And this attitude is of resentment, anger, or spiritual apathy. And guess what? It stems from nursing past hurts. Nurse it, which then grows to corrupt, divide, and trouble a community, potentially causing people to fall away from God's grace. Yeah. It represents, there it is. I was looking for this and I just found it. I was looking for this because I wanted to work with this a little bit. It represents what's called a sleeper sin. Sleeper sin. And that if it goes unchecked, Look at somebody, say, you got to check yourself. You got to do that. If it goes unchecked, it leads to profound, and that's just a better way of saying deep spiritual and relational damage. Relational damage. An inner attitude of a believer is the heart's posture characterized by a deep internal alignment with divine will, specifically reflecting the mind of Christ through humility, gratitude, and faith. It focuses on inner spiritual transformation, change, rather than just outward actions, influencing how a believer thinks, perceives, and reacts to life. So when the inner attitude of a believer, when the inner attitude of a believer is poisonous, characterized by chronic bitterness, anger, unforgiveness, or malice, it acts as a root of bitterness. And guess what it does? It spreads. It spreads, damaging their spiritual life, but not just their spiritual life, but it damages relationships and their emotional well-being. The Bible warns that such an attitude is a form of, here it comes, self-induced spiritual misery. I just said something. Can I say it one more time? The Bible warns that such an attitude, the root of bitterness, that inner attitude, that poisonous, bitter inner attitude is a form of self-induced spiritual misery, which is allowed to fester, can defile the person, but not just them, everybody around them. Everybody around them. You wonder why some folk that are connected to each other, oftentimes, both, I'm not going to say both of them, I'm going to say both with an F, both of them. Why both of them crazy? Because they both weren't. One had some sanity, and I'll talk about that because there's something that deals with insanity as it relates to that inner attitude that separates us from God. But if you know how they used to always say that they used to say this. I mean, I don't know anybody ever told anybody this that you're in a relationship with or married to, and you've been with them for a long time. Anybody ever say, y'all look alike? Y'all look like brother and sister. Yeah, and y'all married? Y'all look alike. Yeah, that's because whatever you are starts to rub off on the other person. We rub off on each other. And so if one person, look at your neighbor, say ratchet. Tell him. If one person is ratchet and the other person is not, you have to be careful because ratchetness has a way of overtaking not just the one who is ratchet, but the one who they're connected to. Does that make sense? You know, the people hang around people long enough, and I'm not talking about just dating or marital relationships, I'm talking about friendships. There's some people who you got to be careful who you connect yourself to. That's a secret. I'm not going to say it real loud. There's some people you cannot connect yourself to. Oh, friends. Talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to change him. That's what she said. Until he took all the money she had and went and moved into the house with her over there. Y'all missed what I just said. You got, look at somebody say, be careful. Who you think you can change. The only one who can really change folk. Look at somebody say, only God can. Only God can. Can I keep on going? It's getting juicy. It's going to get juicier. Juicier. Here it is. Now we said self-induced spiritual misery. Bring it on themselves, right? And again, we said if it's allowed to fester, can defile the person and those around them. So the writer of Hebrews makes it plain and simple to the reader concerning the issue of bitterness. A believer can fail to obtain the grace he or she needs to stay cheerful and happy in their relationship with God. They can become bitter and troublesome to everybody around them by their constant grumbling and complaining. Can I tell you this? And if you're around people and all they do is grumble and complain, find some new friends. Find them quickly. Well, you know what? I'm trying to help them in the Lord get away. Well, I'm really trying to, in Jesus' name, trying to help get away quickly. Because you don't have time to be dealing with people. All they do, every time you complain about everything. Everything. Complain about their stuff, and then they start complaining about your stuff. And you're like, dang, how you bring me into this? They got problems at home. Now you got them at home. They said, wait a minute, I'm good. Well, you better watch out, because this is what I had to deal with him. And then I'm telling you, something just don't look right. Now here you go, putting a tracker under the car. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because people, if you're not careful, remember we said bitterness has a way of, and not just the term bitterness itself, but everything that comes along with it. If we're not careful, it will infect us. Yeah, he ain't right. He ain't ever been right. Girl, ain't none of them right. Really? None of them. You serious? No, I got a good man at home. No, you don't. And you know you do, but after a while, you say, yeah, Let's see. Okay, they get off work at 4. It only takes them about 20 minutes to get to the house. 4 o'clock, 20 minutes. Now here you go with the timer. Let me put the timer on. They come walking in at 4:30. Where you been? Oh, I'm going down to the store. Store's about what? About 10 minutes from the house. 10 minutes from the house. So 10 minutes, I need to grab something real quick, come back, put timer on. Click. And you don't even know it, brother. Or sister, it could be the other way. Because somebody has infected, because they have been infected themselves, that they can't help but infect other people. So now they got you walking around looking at your man like they trifling. And you got a good one. Does that make sense? He said, a good man is hard to find. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, that's real if we're not careful. And that's what Scripture is telling us. You have to, matter of fact, how do we start? Reverend Jefferson, if you could put that very first New Living Translation, I think it's verse number 14. Let's put that on the screen because it's so important, because that's what it starts out with. It does. It starts out with it. I want us to see it. It says, work at what? Work at what? Work at living in peace. Peace. Irene, peace. Here's what one of the mystics would say. Peace is not allowing whatever around me that is happening to cause me to come outside of my space of peace and harmony. So what you do over there is not going to cause me to be crazy like you crazy. You got to tell people you're going to be crazy by yourself. But if you're in peace and you allow somebody to snatch your peace, you got a problem. But you look at the person next to you and say, you cannot have my peace. Tell them they can't have it. You can't have it. I mean, we practicing. The person next to you might be a good person, and it might be your spouse. Anyway, look at them, tell them, you can't have my peace. You're just practicing. But what you got to deal with out there, because folk out there can't wait to steal your peace. Right. And if they can't get you, I said this earlier, if they can't get you, this is what the enemy does. If the enemy can't get you, the enemy's going to get what's close to you. Or at least try to get what's close to you. Your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your spouse, whoever. You say, oh, I've been to church, and I'm filled with the Holy, and you go home speaking in an unknown tongue walking in the door. And then all of a sudden, guess what you meet when you get to the house? You were like, this crazy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It happens. And so, so you can't allow anybody, you can't allow other folks' issues to become your issue. Are we together on that? And I kind of started out with that earlier, that just because they don't like somebody doesn't mean you have to. They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing to you. Even if they did something to the other person, has nothing to do with you. Look at somebody, tell them, don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Let's keep on going. We got to go. We got to go. Oh, man, this is getting good. So we said again, they can become bitter and troublesome to everybody around them by their constant, what? Grumbling and what? And we suggested stay away from people who are grumbling and complaining all the time. You don't need that in your life. You got enough stuff to deal with than to be dealing with somebody else's stuff and issues. The bitter complaining of a dissatisfied believer is contagious. It's contagious. Can we put that piece of fruit up on the screen again? It's contagious. It's contagious. It's contagious. And it's contagious not only to the spiritual, not to the individual, but contagious for those of us who are believers to the entire house. Can I tell you what the enemy seeks to do? The enemy seeks to come in and not just destroy one person. That's not enough. The enemy wants to destroy the whole house. Did you hear what I said? I said the whole house. Not half the house, not a piece of the house, but the whole house. The enemy intends to, when the enemy walks out, I'm taking everything, even in purple chairs you sitting in. That's the enemy's approach. I'm taking everything, not just you, but everything. I'm going to take you and everything so that nobody else can come back in here again. I'm going to take everything. So we have to be careful, and I said this earlier, even for those of us who are in Christ and serving, because it's dangerous to have people in leadership who are infected and are not trying to get themselves better, but just infecting other people. I said that earlier. I don't mention any names of ministry in the church because people might say, Reverend must be talking about that board over there. We used to have, I remember, you all, I shared this before, y'all never had what's called the Willing Workers or the Ladies Guild. Have y'all ever had the Ladies Guild or Willing Workers? We used to have that a long time ago. We don't have that now, so I can talk about that. If you have a person that's over the Willing Workers who is infected and who doesn't care about getting better, they're going to infect everybody in the ministry. And after a while, everybody in ministry starts to behave like the leader. Ooh, I just said something. Everybody, can I take it a step further than that, if you would allow me to? If you're not careful, if that person up there ain't right, that will infect everybody in the house. I wish I had a witness say, tell it again, Pastor, say it again. I'm telling you I know what I'm talking about. And can have the beautiful gifts and graces to shout the house crazy. Yes, can shout the house crazy. But because they're infected, every time they spew out here, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know why she does this. I don't know why she does this, but I'm going to talk about my wife. Can I talk about her? I don't know why I'm going to talk. They're going to beat me up. Let me stand over here. I'm going to talk about my wife. So we're on our way. While you all were in Bible study, we were traveling, right? And so we're on the plane, and I got a picture to prove it. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking at my phone, reading some books, and all of a sudden I look over, and my wife got on a mask. I said, "Oh, you got on a mask." I said, why you wearing a mask? Because folk around here, they might be coughing, and I don't want to. I said, well, if I get it, you gonna get it. You gonna get it. Leave her alone. I'm sorry. And can I tell you this about my wife? If you didn't know this about her, do you think that she cared about what I said? Do you think? Because what do you call it, shaming people? What do you call that is it called shaming people? What you call it? Y'all just sitting there so quiet. Tell me, what's it called? No, it's not. She did do that because even my kids came up and they were like, and we all looked at the same time, started laughing. Yeah, she wore the mask because she didn't want to get infected. Yeah. But I told her, I said, baby, I said, no, but can I say this though? Can I say this? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be done. I'll say this. Plane landed. We got to where we needed to go. And, it was probably about maybe 12 hours after that. Guess who started? The one with the mask. I'm serious. It was the one. Y'all were getting ready to. I felt y'all were thinking it was me. That was her. She got. I don't know what she had. And then, so guess what I did? I didn't do like the Bible and go lay hands and heal in the name of Jesus. I went right over to the box, got a mask, and put it on. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. Oh, goodness. What were we talking about? People get infected by other people. We call ourselves believers, and we can become infected. All right. My time is up. When we come back together, I'm going to share with you. I got to get through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're really not long. 7 points that I want to deal with as it relates to this text. And I better not say it that way. I'm going to do my best. I almost said I promise you. But I want to do my best to make sure that everything's going to be on that screen when we come together the next time we sit in this room together. All right? Self-induced spiritual misery. Mm-hmm. And which if allowed to fester, can defile the person and everybody around them. But it starts with what's called that self-induced spiritual misery. And the Bible warns us against that. Yeah. And I'll say this as we get ready to bounce. A person can be bitter and you can tell by looking at them. Or a person can be bitter and you look at them and you cannot tell. One way or the other. Right? But no matter which side the point is on, we have to deal with it. We have to address it, and we're going to deal with that when we come together next week. Am I? We good? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. They just walk in the room and you feel it. That's true because we have what's called, and you've heard of this term before, we have what's called an aura. This attached to us spiritually. And so whatever is affecting or has infected one physically also becomes connected to that which is spiritual. So you're right. It's gonna be. You can feel it. I've experienced feeling it go by you, and you had to turn around and look to see who it was.
That's right.
You just sit. You might be just sitting in your cubicle at work, and all of a sudden somebody walks by and you go, "Whoo!" You feel it. Yeah, you feel it. Does that make sense? There's a part of us, and I say this all the time, called the spirit of discernment. And I say it in a joking way for my sisters, because my sisters do this so often. A sister can look down the block, see a brother walking, and say, "He tried to." Without even having a conversation. But he ain't right. That's why all the sisters laughing, because yes, ma'am, you were listening.
Well, it happened to me one time. This lady came to my house, and when she left, I had to open the
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Just remind me. I mean, it was just so strong.
Yeah. So thick and heavy in your house that you had. That's why I tried. I have this, and it came to mind. I'm careful, and I have to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take care of this because I never. It was given to me. I'm cautious and careful about a doormat saying welcome. Because you can't welcome